All right, so we're recording on there, and now we should be live in the group in the next minute or two, I would think, second or two. So what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Creative Crypto Show. We're going to talk some crypto today. We're going to talk about Deutsche Bank being in panic mode, on the verge of collapse and being downgraded. Just make sure I can hear my sound. And I can't. Caught a good in there. So we're going to talk about Deutsche Bank being in panic mode, what that means for crypto. We're going to talk about we're going to walk through some signs that this downward Bitcoin and crypto market that we're all experiencing, these constant red days, day after day, talk about why that might be coming to an end pretty soon, and some things to look for there. And then again, we're going to give away some more Litecoin for those of you that don't have any. So that's what's on the agenda for today's show. Before we dive into that, let's start with some good news. So Danny, Jessica, you guys got some good news you'd like to start with?
Go, Jess.
Me first? Okay. My good news is I have nothing to do today. Like, this is it. This is a lazy day, and I don't get these very often, so I'm pumped about that.
Nice.
My good news. It's an exciting day. I'm catching up on. I woke up really early, and I accomplished so much more this morning with 2 extra hours. So,
nice.
Being here, it's awesome.
Cool. That productive feeling of like having stuff done. I call it cleaning energy because I get it like whenever I'm cleaning house. So like I just, you just get stuff done, and like on the heels of that, like you clean and put some music on, which I don't really like to clean, but I'm just saying when I do, that's the way I do it. And that type of energy, that cleaning focused energy, that's one of the most productive energies that we can generate in our bodies. And so if you take that type of energy and generate it towards, getting some writing done if you're a writer, some painting done if you're a painter, some cleaning done if you're cleaning houses, whatever. It's just a good feeling energy. I've never heard anybody like that's experiencing that saying that I don't like the way that makes me feel. So cool. My good news is I had an amazing conversation with my daughter this morning on the way to school. We just talked about, we're going on vacation Sunday. We're traveling down to Florida for a few days, and just doing some fun stuff down there. And so we actually just talked about, the things that we're going to do. And it was fun to see her excitement and, her lighting up on, it's just about mentally preparing for a great trip. And so that's something that I do in my own personal life. It's called, I call it vibrational creation, just thinking about things that I want to happen in the future and thinking through how they're going to make me feel and all of that. And whenever we do that, that's essentially a feeling of, or whenever we create that feeling, it's essentially, pre-paving for that type of thing or scenario to play out in real life. And so it was just really cool to have that type of conversation with her this morning and see her get all excited about it. And it was like as if she was on the water park or just saw the water park as if we were there. She was really excited. So that's my good news for today. Let me go ahead and share my screen. We'll get into the show, the content. If you're watching this in the group, in the Facebook group, the Creative Crypto Facebook group, then you would like to join any of these calls, you can do that by just clicking the link in the description. You can join these Zoom calls and just participate here live with us if you'd like to do that. You can also just drop comments and things on the live stream in the group. If you're catching the replay, type replay in the comments. Let me know that you were here, and let me know if you got some value. If you're watching this on YouTube and you'd like to join us in the Facebook group, you can do that also. Just click the link in the description and come join the party. We post all kinds of stuff in there and have a lot of fun. So like a little bit more, then click the link. And also, if you're on YouTube, click the subscribe button. Let's get a few more subscribers to the YouTube channel. It's a brand new channel. I just started putting these out for you guys. So hopefully you find some value in it. All right, let's get into it. Let me share my screen, and then I'm going to go to the good old coinmarketcap.com. And ooh, I immediately saw some green right above the fold here. That's a nice sign. Okay, so let's actually see what's going on in the market. The crypto market cap right now is 334 billion, which is down again from yesterday at 347. So it lost a little bit of the market cap. The 24-hour volume, however, is up again yesterday, and that is 22.5. That's up from 18 yesterday. So the 24-hour volume got a little nice bump. Bitcoin dominance is at 38.5%. So it's a fourth of a tenth, no, 4/10 of a bit lower than yesterday. And then the number of cryptocurrencies that we have on this site, 1623. So we added about 8 more since yesterday. And so that's where we stand. If we just do a quick scroll, you see a lot of red, but there's definitely more green at this moment than there was this morning when I scrolled. I think there may have been one that was in the green this morning. But now it looks like we've got 2 or 3 dozen, a couple dozen of the cryptos are in the green. This is a good sign. The biggest gainer at the current moment, 15.9%. That's OX. EOS is up 8.38. Mixin is up. Bitcoin Private is up. Let's see. So Tron is up. So that's a lot more green than just a few hours ago. So the vast majority still is red, the biggest loser being Skycoin right now, down 28%. So the prices, where we stand there, Bitcoin is 75.58. I actually bought some more Bitcoin yesterday. I used the Gemini exchange, which is, I used the wire bank wire option for the Gemini exchange. And I sent the wire about 11:15 in the morning, and it showed up in my Gemini exchange by about 1 p.m., so it took about 2 hours, and I immediately was able to transfer it over and buy the Bitcoin, and then transfer the Bitcoin out of the Gemini exchange. And so this is my first experience actually using that exchange. I've had an account set up with that exchange for quite a while, but I've never actually used the wire feature. So pleasantly surprised there. It took just within a couple of hours it was there, and there were no additional fees or just all the fees and things that get tacked on whenever you pay via credit card or on some other exchanges like Coinbase or elsewhere. So that was nice. So Bitcoin sitting at 7,500. Ethereum 589, Bitcoin Cash 1,025, EOS above $12 again, 12.25. Litecoin sitting at 121. It was actually down to 119 earlier today. So Tron has now officially taken the number 9 spot. It was below IOTA for quite some time, but recently market cap surpassed that of IOTA. That's because one of their mainnet products is actually going to be released very soon. So there's some more money going into Tron as of recently. So that's kind of a quick look at what's going on in the market. The big news in the world that's directly related to crypto is Deutsche Bank. I posted a couple of articles in the Facebook group. Let me go find them real quick. One of them is here. One of them is here. So this one that I posted, this is the same guy that you guys have ever seen the movie The Big Short. The same guy, his name was Mark in the movie, Mark Baum, and Steve Carell was the guy that played him. And he was one of the guys that he predicted the 2008 housing crisis bubble, saying that, hey, I'm looking at all of these loans. They're all terrible loans. I'm going to the places, like he did the research. He saw that there's no way these loans are going to hold up. These banks are going to collapse. The people that are investing and holding their money on this thing that has never failed, it's about to fail. And nobody believed him. Everybody thought he was crazy. Everybody thought that he was insane for wanting to short that particular wanting to short the market at that time. The banks were like, I mean, they were happy to take his money. They did it for sure. But it was very interesting. It's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, watch that movie. The same guy that predicted that, he's now saying, now mind you, he's also one of the same guys that came out a couple weeks ago and said Bitcoin as a cryptocurrency is not that great. It doesn't have value for random things, for other reasons that he was wrong on. I think there's a reasoning why he was coming out to say that. However, now what he is saying is absolutely the truth. He's telling people, look, if you own shares of Deutsche Bank, get out now. And that's what he's telling them. That's what nobody, his reason for getting out the actual article is here if you want to read it. But here's what he says. It's a problem bank. It's a problem bank. The German lender has profitability issues. We'll probably have to raise capital in next year, he said, without disclosing the position of the shares. Let's see what else I can find. The firm has had to shrink dramatically. I posted an article, the other one that I posted just earlier. They fired 10,000 employees. It's 1 in every 10. It's a drastic cut. Their prices of their shares have slumped almost 34% in the past year. It's just like, there's lots of reasons in here. We've talked about the bank. There's lots of reasons. They're the most held derivative book in the entire world. And all of these loans are going to go back. All of these derivatives, all of this money that's owed, they're going to owe even more whenever they get downgraded. When their credit rating gets downgraded. Also, it's going to expire, a lot of them. Now, it will depend how many expire, how many of these contracts all of a sudden are invalid and need to be paid. The number of those will depend on what the downgrade is. You know, how far do they get downgraded? Them firing this many employees, this is part of a big new restructuring process. This is, like I said when I posted, it's kind of a last-ditch effort for them saying, hey, look, we're restructuring things. We can fix all of this situation. Thing is, they can't. I mean, they can't fix it. It's infixable. It is not a fixable situation. There's literally not enough money in the entire world to pay what they owe. And so if last time this particular thing happened, there was a bailout. So the potential for a bailout, I mean, it is there. Do I think a bailout's going to happen? Probably not. I mean, it's $100 trillion plus bailout that we're talking. That's not a small thing. And so I think something else is going to have to be done. I think there will be, nonetheless, there's going to be a lot of bank-driven chaos over the next little while, the coming months and years. So keep an eye on Deutsche Bank. There's a big shareholder meeting today. You could probably, there'll be a lot of news on Deutsche Bank tomorrow, I would think, between now and tomorrow. So just watch for that. It'll probably be the last day or so, maybe the weekend, maybe tomorrow or the next day, you see a credit rating decline come out or the downgrade happen. So just keep an eye on that, because if this happens, the other banks are going down as well. And a couple of things to note on that. There's a couple of scenarios that could play out. I just want to show, the different scenarios, the different possibilities, depending on how the dominoes actually fall. So one scenario is, there's fire trucks. I don't know if you guys can hear them. One scenario is all of the, it becomes difficult to buy crypto. And that is a very real possibility, because if the banks shut down, all of these exchanges where they all operate on, how do you fund them? I put money into Gemini yesterday to buy some Bitcoin. How did I send that money? Through the bank, through my Bank of America account. I wired it. If the banks go down, that's not a possibility. The crypto exchanges operate on that. So number one, you don't want to keep your crypto, any crypto that you have on exchanges. Get yourself a hardware wallet. keep it offline, get a paper wallet, print it out if you need to, if you don't want to do the hardware. But don't keep them in exchanges, because there's a likelihood, there's a possibility of exchanges not being able to operate, pending banks. So that's one thing to keep an eye out. Another thing to pay attention to, or that could potentially happen, is we see a big run up on silver, because Deutsche Bank is also, not only do they have the largest derivative book in the world, which are derivatives are basically side bets on loans, and so with interest attached, and the way that they've operated, the way that they do business is they place a derivative order and they get paid up front. They make the money up front, and so they've been panicking like for the last years. Like they're just continuously doing. They're still bringing on and doing your derivatives daily. Because that's a big source of their income. They need the capital. However, long term, there's no way they're ever going to be able to pay them off. They're not even able to pay the ones off that they wrote years ago. And so it's a no-win situation here with what's going on. But not only are they the biggest holder of the derivative books, they're also one of the largest holders of silver. The silver futures trading and things like that, they are very, very much so connected to that. And so if the bank were to go down, and then that means Citibank goes down. And Citibank is one of the other top silver holders out there. And so if those things happen, like if the right dominoes fall and silver gets cut loose, the main banks that have most of their stuff in like that, like if silver gets cut loose to true price discovery, we could literally have like $500, $600, $700 or more per ounce silver overnight. If that were to happen, when a couple of things were to happen, we would literally see silver go from $16 an ounce, which is where it is right now, to like 600 or more. And so that's another possible scenario. Will that happen? I don't know. The right dominoes have to fall. It's very possible. It will likely happen in the next few years. Whether or not that's sooner and overnight, that depends. The right dominoes have to fall, but it's a very real possibility. So that's, cryptos will also, I mean, I've been saying gold, silver, metals, like gold and silver, mostly silver, even over gold. That's a good place to put money. And then also, I would probably have, especially if your bank is one of the larger banks, Bank of America, Chase, Citibank, JP Morgan, if you're any of those larger banks, that's your primary use bank, I would definitely take some cash and just hold on to it outside of the bank, because banks go on bank holidays, and they don't have to be on an actual holiday. Just ask the people in these different countries that have seen it happen over and over again. We've had it happen in the US multiple times. Banks will go on holiday, and that holiday could last a day. It could last 6 months. And essentially, it could also be in the form of you go in and say, hey, I want to withdraw some money today. And they're like, hey, I'm sorry, we don't have it. We won't have it until 4 days from now or 6 days from now or whatever. So just, do what you need to do to prepare yourself for those type of scenarios, because they are potential. Now's a good time to buy, to get crypto. Now's a good time to get into silver. Hold your cash outside of a bank. And so, yeah, that's what's going on. That's my, obviously this isn't, as I say every day, this isn't advice, investment advice, legal advice. It's not advice. Just I'm telling you what I'm doing. And so that's kind of what's going on. We are in a period of time though, and we're seeing more green now than just a couple of hours ago. I would expect, and I can talk a little bit more about this tomorrow, but we're nearing, for a few reasons, we're nearing a spot where I believe we're going to see a bit of a turn upwards in terms of positive news and green instead of red. it's not guaranteed. I mean, there's just a couple of things that are contributing to that. You know, some stuff that's going on with Mt. Gox, the large holdings that have been really suppressing the price, that, you know, the dumps that have been coming from the Mt. Gox holdings, which there's literally thousands and thousands of Bitcoin that they're holding and then selling off in parts. And so as those sell off, that dumps the price, and then that being coordinated with, you know, mouthpieces and bad news and, you know, bad crypto related news from governments and from people like Warren Buffett and, you know, Bill Gates and all of this stuff that we've seen. We're kind of running out of ammunition is one short version of the story. And so there's that and a couple of other things that are just taking place that I believe we're going to see a bit of a turnaround soon. However, as you guys know, I've said it multiple times, until I see 3 days of green back to back, 3 straight days of green where most of the cryptos are in the green instead of the red, that's how I know that we're shifting trends. We're going from an upward trend to a downward trend or vice versa. And so that's what we're looking for. Today we have the first kind of speckles of some green in here. Hopefully tomorrow we have some even more. Hopefully tomorrow's a majority green day. But either way, now still a good time to buy. We're still at all-time lows. And, you know, when the price of Bitcoin goes down, you notice all the other coins go down. When the price of Bitcoin goes up, all of the other coins are going to go up. And that's going to be the same for a while. One reason is because how do you get the other cryptocurrencies? Through an exchange by trading them for Bitcoin. That's how you get them. And so they're connected. That won't always be the case. Right now it's the case. And that's the big factor in why the price correlation is so similar. One recommendation that I will go ahead and give you guys now is this coin right here. VERI, Vertasium. Vertasium is a coin $70 right now. It's ridiculous. It was up over 500 almost, just not too long ago at the height. We're down below 70 at $70 right now. It's below $100. This is a steal at the moment. Just like silver is a steal, this is a steal. Vertasium, in short, is the coin that will help and be there to rescue all of the other scenarios in the situation of a bank collapse. So there's a very good likelihood that Vertasium will come in and play hero and save the day for a lot of what's happening in the banks. And they could potentially be a big factor, especially the fact that the crypto exchanges are so directly dependent upon the banks. And so you can read into what Vertasium is. I'm not going to get into that here, but I'm just saying they're a transition coin. They're a coin that is built to help with this transition. And if it gets bad enough, if the big banks collapse, like it's very likely that will happen, I mean, governments could literally come in and say, you know, they could come in and ask for the help of Vertasium and give that endorsement. And here's why that's important. If you look right here on the markets, these are the only markets. There's only 8 places you can buy this stuff. And the volume is not very high. The 24-hour volume, 133,000, 310,000, 444,000. Like that's not a lot of volume for a coin with $143 million market cap. You can go into one of these, so I bought mine from this one right here, Mercatox. This is the exchange, $133,000 24-hour volume. So I could take if I wanted to buy $10,000 of this stuff, I can move the price I don't know, probably 10% with a $10,000 investment on some of these smaller exchanges. And so imagine what will happen to the price when you start seeing large buy orders, like millions or tens of millions or hundreds of millions, because people realize Vertasium is a solution that's ready to go. It's built, it's done, it's sustained, it's ready to go, and it's just perfectly positioned. So I'm a big fan of this in terms of as a transition coin. So yeah, we'll wrap it up on that for today. Litecoin giveaway is on. It is in effect. So if you're watching this video on YouTube, you got 24 hours from the time it was uploaded The first 10 people that tell me you want some Litecoin, I'll give you $10 in Litecoin. The only rules are this. Number one, you must have not already, you can't already own Litecoin. If you already own Litecoin, then just go share this video and let me give it to somebody else, because the more people that own Litecoin, the higher the value is going to be. So you can play your part there. If you don't own Litecoin and you're watching this video and you would like some, I will send you $10 for free. This is available to the first 10 people that ask me within the 24-hour upload period. So if you're watching this video on YouTube, look at the date that it was uploaded, the time that it was uploaded. You got 24 hours. All you got to do, I'll put a link in the description to another video that walks you through the entire process of how to claim the Litecoin. But literally all you got to do is just send me, you got to email me your Litecoin wallet ID. If you don't have a Litecoin wallet ID, click the link in the description, and it'll show you how to go set up a Litecoin wallet and get your public ID and send it to me. And so, yeah, there you go. Click the link in the description if you want some free Litecoin. That's all I'll say. Banks are collapsing. Dollar's dying. Crypto's going to boom. Silver's going to boom. Don't hold your money in the banks. Don't hold your cryptos in the exchanges. Keep some savings for just in case the banks decide to go on holiday. That's what I got. That's it. That's my message for now and for the near future. So thanks for hanging out. I appreciate each and every one of you for watching. Drop me a like if you got some value. Drop me a comment if you got some value. And we will see you all tomorrow on the next call. Adios. Bye-bye.